Coucou! Today I'm going to speak in English because I want to tell you a good news. I want to tell you that you can become fluent in French. It is possible. You can become fluent in French the simple way. You can use your limited time efficiently and effectively to acquire French the simple way. You can simplify your journey to amplify your French. I'm gonna tell you how.
anisayel.com pour acquérir le français naturellement.
But first of all, let's think about what is holding you back from success. What is holding you back from becoming fluent in French? Well, you've probably heard or you've probably thought yourself, oh, I'm not good at languages. No. Oh, I have no time. I'm too busy. I can't speak French. Speaking in French is too difficult. The pronunciation is so hard with the on, the. No, I can't do it. Well, it's probably because you had a bad experience with learning languages. Maybe at school you were taught the traditional way, the classic way. You had to learn long lists of words, of vocabulary. You had to study grammar rules. Maybe you had to speak from day one in front of a whole class. You had to speak a language you didn't know how to speak. Well, maybe you think you have to be an extroverted person to speak a language. And you have to be hardworking, you have to be smart. You have to have a big memory to learn a language, to learn French. Well, I'm here to tell you that all of this is wrong. Anyone, including you, can acquire one language or several languages. Anyone can acquire any languages. And you can become fluent in French. You can acquire French. You don't need to study grammar. You don't need to be hardworking. You don't need to be smart or to be extroverted. No. All you need is to listen to French, to read French, and to comprehend what you hear and what you read. Well, I had this experience with Spanish. I became fluent in Spanish the simple way. I listened to Spanish people around me, and I had a very special friend. My special friend, Christina, talked to me slowly. She made sure I understood what she was saying to me. And little by little, thanks to Christina, my Spanish mama, my Spanish mummy, I understood more and more Spanish. And one day, I started to speak Spanish. I started to say some words, then I started to say short sentences, and then I could say longer sentences. It was like magic. I didn't study any grammar, I didn't memorize any words, I just listened. Fast forward to years later, I became a French teacher. and I started to teach teenagers. I started to teach them French the traditional way. I was teaching them long lists of words without any context. I was making PowerPoints with endless words and pictures, like, oh, today we're gonna learn the food in French. Un brocoli, une tomate. I would just say some words. I also taught grammar. Oh, today we're gonna learn le passé composé. And of course, my students hated French. As soon as I was starting to speak normal French, French in sentences, they couldn't understand me. They couldn't utter a word. Also, I made them repeat French words from day one. They hated French, they were not good at French, they couldn't communicate in French, and I was discouraged. I was about to quit, although I always wanted to become a teacher. Until one day I discovered the work of Dr. Stephen Krashen. And Dr. Stephen Krashen claims that language acquisition happens, so you acquire a language, when you understand what you hear and what you read in the language. And then it clicked. Of course, that is how I acquired Spanish, and later on English. And that is how I acquired my own mother tongue, French, when I was a baby. I listened to my parents and to the people around me, and then I started to talk. Of course. So then I changed my teaching approach, and I started to tell stories to my students. I told them stories which they could understand. I would draw on the board. I would speak slowly at first. I would explain the words using gestures, using synonyms, and my students could understand me, and they could understand the stories, and they loved it. They loved French. And then they started to speak naturally, without stress, without pressure. And I loved my job, they loved French. And then I was on a mission to help you become fluent in French the simple way. Once you understand the message, once you understand what you hear or what you read, then the new structures, the new words, the grammar will stay in your brain forever. And you don't need to study, you don't need to learn, you don't need to memorize, because your brain is wired to acquire any languages. When you join us, all you have to do is to sit back, relax, and watch a compelling story. Watch and listen to a compelling story. All you have to do is to enjoy the story. I have put together a very special membership and a very special course to help you become fluent in French the simple way. You're going to sit back, relax, and listen to compelling stories, read compelling stories, and your only goal, your only objective will be to try to understand the gist of the stories. So you're going to listen and to read French with the intent to understand the gist. No worries. I am here to make things easy for you, to make things comprehensible. So I am here to make the stories comprehensible, to make the stories easy to understand. When you join us on aliceyel.com, you do not focus on French, you do not focus on the language, on how the language works. You focus on the story. In fact, you want to know what is going to happen next in the story. And you let your brain do the work for you. When you understand the gist of the story, when you want to know what's going to happen next, your brain is processing French and your brain is acquiring French subconsciously. So join us, join a wonderful community of French learners. You are not alone in your journey. There are other French learners in the community who are here to support you in your journey. And when you join us on my site, aliceyel.com, you will understand French stories. You will understand more and more French. Then you will start to think in French. You will start to dream in French. And then one day you will speak spontaneously in French. Words will start to come out of your mouth naturally, without thinking. You will be confident because you will start speaking when you are ready to, when your brain is ready to speak. No pressure. No need to study long lists of words. No need to make flashcards. No need to study grammar rules. The grammar, the vocabulary will stay in your brain forever because you will have heard so many stories and you will have heard the same words repeated again and again in the stories. You will read also a lot and you will be able to read and to listen at the same time. There are different speeds to listen to French. First, you can start listening to slow French, and then you can increase the speed to reach normal speed when you are ready to. No pressure. It is a joyful and relaxing experience. And it is so simple. No need to buy an expensive textbook. No need to buy an expensive grammar book. No need to make flashcards. No need to write on a notebook. It is simple. All you have to do, all you need, is a comfortable chair to sit back, relax, watch, listen, read, and enjoy. So, what do you get when you join us on aliceyel.com? Well, you get a caring and supportive community of other French learners. We meet monthly for live events. We discuss books or we co-create stories together. It's fun. You also get to build a strong French foundation with the baby stage. The baby stage is a special course with exclusive videos, with compelling stories, so that you acquire the most frequent use structures in French and you can communicate in daily conversations. Once you have finished the baby stage, then you move on to the infant stage for upper beginners, the teen stage for intermediate learners, the adult and the senior stages. So you have different stages to help you become fluent in French the simple way. You also have hundreds of stories to read and to listen to, and you have audiobooks to listen to. So you simplify your journey to amplify your French. There are two paths to become fluent in French. The painful path, where you have to learn how French works, to learn the grammar, to learn the words, and you have the joyful, the simple path. This is our path. So join us on aliceyel.com. À bientôt!